All right, all right, all right. We're back in the building once again. The chat about the King Jacob. I'm your host, King Jacob, and we have another Star Stellar episode for you this evening. Hope everybody had a terrific Tuesday. Got some things accomplished, new goals, new connections, and got some new money rolling in. You know what I mean, for the future. So we have none other than tonight live, man. The legendary Prince Rahiem. What's up, man?
What's good? What's good, John? How y'all doing out there, man? What's good, bruh?
Man, everything good, man. Everything good, man. So glad to have you on. So, before we get into your story, man, and you got an amazing story, um, I like to ask a question for the people. Who is Prince Rahiem?
Sure. With Prince Rahiem, Prince Rahiem is a guy who was born in New York City, uh, who wound up moving to Orlando, Florida, meeting the likes of Magic Mike, forming one of the most dynamic duos that went by the Get Funky crew, then meeting up with Clay D and becoming a legend in the South, man. Uh, that's basically all I can say who Prince Rahiem is, man. I'm a father, a grandfather, entrepreneur. You know what I mean? Like I get in, family. I really get in, man.
All right. So that's who Prince Rahiem is. So that's what's up, man. So, from your early days, man, being raised up in New York, Queens to be exact, what was that like for you when
Mhm.
you got introduced to hip hop?
Man, I'm gonna tell you that was the best time of my life. I was a youngster, 12 years old. I live in Hollis, Queens. We call it Run DMC country for those who don't know. And it's the same place where Run came out of. Salt and Pepper was right up the block from us. You know what I'm saying? They lived right corner from me, on 25th. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like we had the essence of hip hop as it was starting to happen. You know, I was blessed enough to meet so many of the people who are iconic and legendary right now, from the LLs to the Jam Master Jays, God bless the dead, running them, Salt and Pepper, Rozelle, the godfather of noise, who was the beatbox for the Roots, also being one of my mentors who taught me the craft of beatboxing. So, you know, growing up in New York during the 70s and the 80s, I had a front row seat to the essence in the beginning stages, the infancy stages of hip hop. And it was a blessing because I learned many lessons from some of the greats that people appreciate and respect to this day.
I can dig it. I can dig it, man. I definitely can dig that. And so early on, man, when did you find out that you had a gift? For this music thing, man, because you've been doing it your whole life now. So
I,
that gift has been running for a long time.
yes, sir. I won't lie to you. Um, I didn't know I had a gift. It just happened to stumble upon me. I had a partner back in the days. His name was Robert, aka Devon. God bless the dead. He's one of the fire MCs in Hollis, Queens. And if anybody from the Hollis, Jamaica, Queens, St. Albans, Linden, Farmers Boulevard see this interview, they gonna vouch for it. He was one of those dudes at the age of 17 who could stand in a room, look at everything in the room, and off the head spit about every person, every little crack in the wall, and break it down, and it all made sense. He was the very first person that really introduced me firsthand to hip hop. Um, and I wound up becoming beatbox. And when I started with the simple stuff. I didn't really do it that well. But by the grace of the creator, I was blessed one night when we lost unfortunately lost one of our area's well-known people. He went by the name of Shorty Black, and he was riding an MB5 motorbike back then, and he wrecked into a car, and handlebars went through his chest. There was a ceremony for him at a legendary park in New York called Jamaica Park in Jamaica, Queens. And everybody and their moms was there. You feel what I'm saying? When I say everybody and their moms was there, everybody and their moms was there. Prior to this event taking place, you know what I'm saying, I had met with this dude by the name of Rozelle, who was from the hood. And he was like crazy with the beat. Everybody had already heard Dougie on radio, but I'm watching this dude in my face making all different sounds, and I'm like, bro, I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So he became a mentor to me, giving me breathing exercises and all that stuff. So it wound up turning into something where beatbox became a passion. I wasn't never supposed to be an MC as far as what I knew. However, we had an opportunity after I had been mentored by Zell to once again go to Jamaica Park and perform, because Run and them were having their tour start. And it was Run the Beastie Boys and Black Rock and Ron, another rap group from Hollis Queens. And they needed an opening act. So they reached out. His brother, my boy Divine's brother, went by the name of Troy. He was part of the group called the Afros. And what happened was his brother was like, yo, man, I need you to come to Jamaica Park. Running, you got this thing going down. They trying to find somebody to open up the tour. We went up there as youngsters. We were the youngest people in the park that night. And when we got on that mic, we wowed everybody in there. Everybody in the park. We became legend in our hood that night. You feel what I'm saying? Unfortunately, my partner got murdered before we could do the tour. And what happened when he got murdered, I vowed that I'd pick up the mic in his honor. From that point forward, I began to try to learn this craft of being. You dig? And at first it wasn't easy. You know, I had some of the greatest around me, so I would just ask questions. I see running them up at the store every day, so I'm always in Run's ear, like, yo, bro, like, what can I do? Like I'm trying to be an MC. You know what happened with Devon, da da da. And he's like, man, rap from the heart. I guarantee you, if what you do is from the heart, it's gonna come naturally. If this is what you're meant to do, I promise it's gonna come naturally.
Right.
Started trying, writing my first little rhymes. You dig what I'm saying? And like the rest was history once I got to Florida, bro.
I hear it. So man, being in New York, man, you know, I remember, you know, my cousins up there used to tell me, you know, when they used to come down and visit for the summer and we was all young, 12, 13 years old, they was like, hey, man, you got to come up and see the freestyles when the DJs bring out the crates in Central Park. And so I had a chance to experience that. So, man, how iconic was those freestyle battles? You know, where everybody, you know, got the beanies on and the triple fat gooses on, you know, with the Timbos and
you
the
already
baggy
know.
jeans and stuff like that. So man, so how iconic was that?
I'm gonna tell you, man. For anybody who understands what this music thing is and what it originated from, going to Central Park to see these battles. What I'm gonna tell you is some of the greatest MCs that never were and never became famous were in that park. They weren't seeking the fame. They weren't seeking riches. They did it for the love of the art. It was something new. And although there's a lot of people that I can mention right now that I know should have been out there, that I saw and witnessed firsthand in these parks. You dig what I'm saying? And I'm talking about, like, it wasn't just Central Park. Prospect Park, in Brooklyn, you know, Rutgers Park, where all of the hip hop legends used to go to watch the basketball games, all the amateurs play. Bruh, the freestyle battles that used to happen on the sidebar of that, bruh, crazy. I remember seeing Melly Mel and Busy B battle. And I was just a kid when that battle happened.
Right.
Literally, I was like 12 or 13 years old when that battle happened. And that was one of the greatest battles of all times, bro. Like one of the greatest battles of all times.
Okay, hold that thought. We'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back momentarily.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're back. So, Busy B and Melly Mel.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, man. For the people who don't know, so I was raised up in a Christian household. So
Okay.
my homeboys used to have to bring the cassettes to school, and I used to have to borrow one of their Walkmen. And at recess, we would listen to, you know, Busy B and Melly Mel and Fab Five Freddy and you know, cats
Yes,
like
sir.
that, man. So, and I can remember, man, when I was allowed, how we used to kind of tune in to different stations, and they would, I guess, I guess back then, man, the program directors would have a proper channel so they can play it down south, and so we would
Mm-hmm.
kind of put the two pieces of tissue in the top of the cassette and dub it off the radio. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's way back in the day. So seeing those battles and being around, you know, the video jukebox and Donnie Simpson
Yes. Yes.
and and the iconic, you know, basketball tournaments like the Blacktop Classic and the Ruckers and stuff like that,
Yes.
man. And they giving cats a chance to freestyle, you know, at those type of events, man. What did that do for artist motivation?
I'm gonna tell you that was like the biggest motivation because you were seeing the actual art happening in the infancy stages. Again, you got to think about the timing when you had Busy B and Kumo D and Melly Mel, and then you had Biz Markie and Fat Boys and all of them come out, Roxanne Shante. You got to think about this whole lineup and array of artists. You had people, Roxanne in New York, period. You had one girl, and she was like 18 years. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Free for the world to see. If you were in the area, Dougie Fresh, Harlem Week, they used to be in Lincoln Projects. You feel what I'm saying? And he would be in the park. You watch the DJ to the light pole, have the little extension cords. You plug it up to the light pole, and they ran from the light poles. You feel what I'm saying? They bringing out
Right.
the speakers, and it wasn't the speakers that these DJs have down in Miami. They was bringing like 10 house speakers because they didn't have big speakers back then like that. You feel what I'm saying? So these DJs were taking stuff from the crib with their 1200s and they were hitting the parks. And bruh, again, this was the essence of hip hop.
Wow. Yeah, you was breaking up a little bit. Could you repeat that last statement?
You see like the beatboxes, the DJ, people gotta understand about the
He'll be back momentarily. We have none other than Prince Rahiem, originally from Queens, New York, the Hollis Queens area. Moved down to Orlando, start working with DJ Magic Mike, Uncle Luke. Worked with a lot of the great bass in that bass area. You know what I mean? That started out in that South Florida area, man. So we chopping up about his career, but how he first was introduced to hip hop because he's originally from Queens, the Hollis Queens area, the same place that LL and Run DMC is from, and how hip hop kind of shaped him to make that transition down south and to really understand what the Southerners was doing as well. So, you know what I mean? So it's a dope interview. All right, we're back. We're back. Hello, and we have his management stepping into the building. You know, you know, the word on the streets, queen. I
Yeah,
am Deanna Freeman. That's what she
I'm
say.
just
I am
stepping
Deanna Freeman.
in. I'm
What's
just
happening?
stepping in. I done told you about just throwing me up on here.
What's happening with you though?
Nothing. I'm just chilling, coming to check in real quick. I got a lot of stuff I'm doing, but I was like, let me show my face real quick so I won't
I'm
get.
glad you showed your face.
I'm finna leave.
What else, Chuck?
I- See, me and you. That's all I'm gonna say.
Chuck.
What up, bro?
We call her Chuck. We are DJ Georgia. We call her because boy, she don't play with us, bro.
Man, listen. Man, listen. That's an understatement. She don't play with nobody.
I'm done.
Oh,
I'm so done. I'm so done. I thought we was better than that. And Jacob,
I
you
keep
supposed to
telling
be
you
my
what
first
is
song, boy.
one.
Really?
We all good, man. But we do
But
have
you
some
want the
people
man
tapping
live?
in. We have we have Michael Terry, little Terry from In the Crib TV, Atlanta, Georgia. We have
Okay,
Lawak Wapter. He's out. He's overseas. In the Caribbean, he has a radio show out there where I'll be plugging y'all in. We have Miss Shamika Anderson out of Batesboro, Elizabeth, South Carolina. So excessive,
okay.
LLC. We have DJ Jen, which is one of the dopest Southern Soul DJs in the world. We have my man Johnny O.C. Hopkins, you know, uh, owns he's the manager and he's a senior of the Hopkins brothers. His grandfather started the group. They've been a gospel group for at least 60 years. And
Mm-hmm.
we have my man Gabe from Finally TV, and we have Miss Latoya Brand of Sea of Things. She's a nutritionist. She's an herbalist. She got sea moss and a host of other products, you know, on display for sale right now that can help your body. And she just into healing her people. So we have all these people tapping in.
Oh, that's what's up. Hey, everybody. I'm Deanna Freeman. I'm just checking in real quick. He always put me on the spot. I'm gonna get him. I'm like, hey, what's up? Check on my artists and people like that. But he gonna throw me on the screen. You know what I'm
Shout out to you,
Yeah, yeah,
Madison.
man.
I love you, baby.
You
You
know,
know what it is.
it- yeah, cause management is everything in the industry. So when you have good management and proper management and managers that know how to handle your business, while you're perfecting your craft, that means so much to an artist. So I'm always gonna highlight you. I'm always
Oh
gonna
yeah.
give you your flowers, and ain't nothing you can do about it.
I fuss with all of them. They know I'm a bully. I can say it, but I bully because I
No,
care.
it is. She don't play,
Right.
bro. I mean,
That's right.
she
So
be
we're gonna take
on
a
us,
quick
bro.
commercial break, and I know that's right. So we'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back. So he'll be back momentarily. He's having a little technical difficulties, but we're gonna get through it. You know what I mean? So we're gonna get through it.
Yeah, y'all forgive him because
So
he's in
man,
Augusta, so they still have some technical difficulties that's in Augusta. still trying to put up you know, towers and stuff that was destroyed in the hurricane. So y'all kind of be patient with him because he was trying to make sure he made this interview tonight with us. So
Yeah.
other than that,
So D, while you on here, you know, what you got going on with word on the streets, man? Like, you know, you everywhere, man. You everywhere.
Well, right now, Word on the Street is promoting voting. We're out doing everything we can with getting people to vote. Right now, I have ads already placed on 3 gospel stations right here in Albany, Georgia, and it's also been put in between with the Steve Harvey Morning Show. I also have my own podcast, podcast and radio show that is going to be starting back up next week, November the 6th. I'm the assistant state manager for Fleet DJs Georgia. I'm the management for Southern Players and Prince Rahiem and DJ J Precise. I'm program director for Honor the Radar Radio. I am also affiliated with B96 The Block in Atlanta. I'm also the manager for Yo ATL Reps. I'm an A&R. I do a lot. I got a lot up under my belt. So he just was waiting for me. Just too much going on.
Yeah, so you know, we appreciate that. Thank you for you know, dropping in and you know, showing us some love, man. We always appreciate that. So
I'm leaving. You guys can have a conversation.
Love you, baby.
Okay.
Love you. I'm gonna watch you, but peace.
Peace out. So we appreciate the management dropping in and just
yes, sir.
Coming the chill with us. So, you know, but Prince Rahiem, man, you seen a lot being in the New York area, growing up there. So when did you actually move to Orlando?
I moved to Orlando in the year of '87. When I got to Orlando, again, after my boy Divine was murdered, unfortunately, the dudes who killed him wanted me dead as well. So my family immediately got me out of New York, and they shipped me to Orlando, Florida. And I was living with my mom's uncle, my Uncle Howard and Aunt Sally Bell. I'm gonna tell you, that transition for me really was kind of like that pivotal moment. That was the pivotal moment. That was the moment when things really started to open up even broader. Now, mind you, you got to keep in mind, I just left New York where I had a situation where I was about to go on tour with Run DMC and, you know, the Beastie Boys and all of them. And now I'm coming here to the South and I'm hearing this whole different genre of music that I've never heard before. It was called bass music. The very first artist that I heard was MC80E, Bass Mechanic. That was the record that made me fall in love with bass music.
Oh, wow. I haven't heard that name in years.
That was the song.
And then, you know, my cousin put me on bass music. He grew up in Mount Dora, Florida. And
I know the area.
He put me on right. So he put me on that DJ Mike. And everybody, once they heard that DJ Mike, man, they wanted that DJ Mike. You know what I mean? So DJ Mike was in all the record stores up here, man. Record stores, gas stations in South Carolina, everywhere. And so that bass sound became so worldwide. And so when did you first kind of get into the music and or first do your first recording entering the bass hip hop scene?
My first entering into the bass realm, I came in as a writer. There were artists that were already kind of in a situation and had labels established and deals. Let me kind of back it up a little bit. Magic Mike and I formed a group called the Get Funky Crew, right? And this was right in Orlando. When I moved to Orlando, Magic Mike was the hottest DJ in the city. There was no DJ that could compete with him. He was on the level of Jazzy Jeff back then. You feel me? And again, me being from New York, I was real critical when it came to a DJ. Like, I knew what a DJ's supposed to do. So if you wasn't up to par, I wasn't really fucking with you. But when it came to Mike, I already knew what it was. I heard it. I saw it firsthand. Him doing the Transformer back in the days. Him doing blends, mixes, all of that. So I'm like, yo, bro, you do that while I beatbox, bro. We could kill him everywhere. We formed the Get Funky crew and started performing in all the clubs around Orlando and surrounding areas. Sanford, you know what I'm saying? Winter Park, Winter Haven. We was tearing them all up. You dig what I'm saying? No matter where we went, when we left smoking, and we left them tables on fire. So what wound up happening is they were having a talent show at the Civic Center in Orlando. Unbeknownst to us, on the other side of the Civic Center, they were having a Miami bass concert. The ADE was performing, Beatmaster Clay D was performing. You had Afro-Rican. You had a bunch of people on the show, right? I happened to be on stage when they had an intermission.
Did you
and
say
I happened to be on stage
Did you say Beatmaster Clay D?
I certainly did.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
I'm finna take y'all there now. Y'all buckle up, because I'm finna take your ass there now. So what took place, man, Beatmaster Clay D and them were on the other side of the Civic Center. They had an intermission as I was entering the stage, and I started beatboxing. They heard the boom coming from our side, and everybody came over. This particular night, I met Clay D. I met Alan Johnston, who at the time was one of the heads of Joy Boy Records. I met Dickie Hazley. I met some of the most prominent people in the Miami-based scene at that time. And Dickie Hazley worked with everybody from Luke, Two Live Crew and them, you know, Half Pint, all of them. He worked with everybody. And he was very influential. He set up a lot of tours and did a lot of Miami bass tours from the infancy stages of bass music. So I'm looking at all these people and they're telling me, hey, yo, dog, you dope. Why don't you let us fly you to Miami? Da, 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 da. And I'm like, I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are. I don't know who the fuck you are. And what are you talking about? Flying me to Miami for what? And they like, man, we could give you a deal right now. We can get you a deal right now. And I'm like, for real? The only one who was truly persistent that night was Beatmaster Clay D. But I made one point clear to him. I told him, I said, Clay, I cannot come to Miami unless my DJ come with me. Magic Mike has to come with me. He was like, that ain't a problem. I thought it was a game. I thought it was a joke. Again, I didn't know who the hell they were. I just heard this bass music thing that was happening at the time. So what took place is I'm at school. I'm hanging out with my partners. You know, shout out to my man Stanley. Shout out to my man Mr. Tolliver. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what it is. O-Town. Y'all know what it is. Oak Ridge. You know what I'm saying? Evans, Maynard High. Y'all know what it is. Man, listen. I'm hanging out with them doing what we do. And I get home late. When I walk through the door, my mother's uncle, my great uncle, gets in my ass like, boy, where the fuck you been? I'm like, what's going on, huh? Why you coming at me like that? Hold up, whoa, whoa. He like, man, you know that dude from Miami you told me about? He called and he had a plane ticket for you. Magic Mike already flew down to Miami. They waiting on you to get down there. I'm like, man, stop playing. He like, man, get on the phone and call the boy right now. So I call him. He like, man, I ain't even got you signed to a deal and you costing me money. I'm like, Clay, man, I'm sorry, bro. I thought you was joking, man. I didn't know it was real like that. He was like, I told you I was going to bring you down to Miami. I'm going to rebook your flight. Come down to Miami. I got some work for you. When I got down there, he asked me could I help him and Mike create records for some of the artists he was producing? I'm like, yeah, I'm down with it. He was like, can you rap over fast beats? And I'm like, bro, I really don't really rap. So my first record that I wrote was a record called Stomp and Grind for Half Pint, which was one of the biggest bass records during that time. And what happened, how that came about was I used the Run DMC cadence. You got to keep in mind, I'm from New York. So, you know, for me, it was taking that same type of flow and now putting it over a beat that was a little bit faster. And that's what I did for Half Pint. And anybody that knows MC Half Pint and knows his music, they know that there was never any record that came out after that that sound like that record. There was never another record that he did that sound the same way. Stomp and Grind was a unique record. Every other record was produced by my man Devastator X, who also went on to produce for Luke and them. You know, he produced I Wanna Rock and all that great stuff. Shake What Your Mama Gave You. That's my bro to this day. You feel what I'm saying? But dog, when I got there, you know, that was the first thing that I did. I wrote Stomp and Grind for Half Pint. I assisted with Magic Mike and Clay D creating the Boot the Booty record for Cool Rock and Chazzy Chaz. You feel me? So these were my beginning stages. And then Clay said to me, yo, bro, I need you to kind of be this MC for this group. I want us to be a group. Beatmaster Clay D and the Get Funky crew. I said, okay, you want us to be a group? I said, bro, I beatbox. I don't rap. He said, man, you're going to have to figure it out. And I thought back on my promise to my man, Divine. I told Divine, some way, somehow, I picked this mic up in his honor and I'd become an MC for him. And he lived through me. And I stuck true to my word, bro. When I tell you I stuck true to that word, the proof's in the pudding. You got Loose My Money. You got Do It, Do It. You got Shake Them Titties. You got Rock With It. You got Rock the House. You got, man, dog, the list goes on all the records that me and Clay made together. Me, Clay, and Magic Mike. The list goes on and on and on. And we made classic records that shifted the game. You know, I'm on the road with the likes of the Gucci crew, the likes of you know, BVSMP that sang I Need You. I'm on the road with my man Half Pint and Cool Rock and Chazzy Chess. God bless the dead, Cool Rock. I miss you, bro. You know, and that's a whole nother story, man. My man Cool Rock, I'll never forget when he got murdered, bro, because that was crazy. Like, and I don't mean to jump topics, but like bringing him up right now and me mentioning him, I have to tap into this story. Clay and I had formed a group. Magic Mike had departed and went solo at this time. So we had a new DJ by the name of Doc Fresh that was rocking with us out of Louisiana. And when I tell you this boy was fire, I mean fire. So we all coupled up, we partnered up, we wound up having a show out in New Orleans. We were performing for LSU's homecoming. So we out there that night. We get back in. It's New Year's. So we bringing in New Year's. We flew back to Miami. We didn't want to stay in the city. We flew back to Miami. We get to the city. I got a cousin that everybody may know, a very famous cousin. He was married to a model by the name of Cynthia Bailey. And he goes by the name of Peter Thomas. He owned a club in Miami that went by the name of Manhattan. Anybody that knows about Miami, y'all know about what went down back in the days. There were only really 3 clubs that rocked with hard. That was Strawberries, owned by Luke. We had Manhattan's, which was owned by my cousin Peter Thomas, and we had oh gosh, what was the name of this other club? With Dickie Moe in there, man. And this was kind of down south. I can't think of the name right now. Inferno's Lounge. There you go. Inferno's Lounge. So we went to Manhattan's and we're up in the VIP. But that night was actually the performer that was in the night. You watching the show, everything good. We drank, We celebrated the new year, 12 o'clock struck. We toasted, all that good shit. He gets a call on his phone and he like, yo, bro, I gotta leave. I gotta go get this bag. I'm like, bro, man, it's New Year's, nigga. That money gonna be there tomorrow, bro. We partying. Let's do this. He like, man, nah, I gotta go get this bread, bro. So I'm like, all right, family, be safe. I dap him up. And he asked me, yo, Rod, you need a ride home? Because he knew I was there with Clay, but Clay had dipped off with a female. So he like, Rod, you need a ride home? I looked down on the floor and I saw the mother of one of my children. I'm like, nah, I'm good, bro. I'm going to holler at you tomorrow. So he dips out. I'm riding home with her. And my phone keep blowing up. I just don't know why I didn't answer it at that moment. My phone kept blowing up. I finally answer. They like, boy, nigga, we thought you was dead. I said, what? They said, man, we thought you was dead. We thought you left with Rock. I said, what you talking about, bro? They said, man, Rock truck just got sprayed up on the train tracks, man. And everybody said it was either you or Clay. I said, damn, man. I beeline to where he was. When I got in Liberty City where the train tracks was, his truck was there with bullet holes riddled on both sides. All right? Half Pint was out there, inconsolable. The whole city was out at this moment because we all knew who he was and we knew who his dad was. You feel what I'm saying? His dad was a very prominent person in Dade County. So we're watching everything unfold, and it got so wild that they couldn't even wait for the coroner to get there. They told the tow truck, put the truck on the lift with the body in it, and you take it to the coroner. We got to get this scene clear because it's getting crazy out here. That crushed me. That kind of hurt a lot. That was a blow because that was my bro. You feel me? That was my bro. So that hurt a lot. That's the second loss of somebody that I did music with. And he was the one who was really responsible for me kind of like doing what I did, man. You feel what I'm saying? So when I tell you that was a blow to me and my team and Clay and Mike, that was a blow to all us, bro.
Sorry to hear that, man, but we're going to take another quick commercial break and we'll be right back momentarily.
Yes, sir.
We're back with the one and only Prince Rahiem. So, man, you got into this Southern bass music, and it took you a lot of places, man, because I can tell you that Lose My Money, Honey was in every club that I went to through South Carolina, North Carolina, and Georgia. Every club, you know what I mean?
Yes,
like every club, and the dance floor stayed packed. And if you didn't, if you didn't come with anybody, you definitely left with somebody. You know what I mean?
You better believe that.
Those were the good days where people really partied, had a good time, man. And it wasn't all the extracurricular activity, man. You know, there was nobody standing on the wall. You know,
that part.
Women hair sweated out. You know, dudes t-shirt soaking wet. So you know, everybody having a good time. So with the Lose My Money, Honey, right? There was some things that kind of transpired, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So,
with that Lose My Money record, I'm gonna be a buck with y'all with that record. I'm gonna break down how that record came about. Clay and I had already done a few albums together, and he and I were having differences of opinion as artists and the creative side of things. We kept clashing. So I decided at that point, you know, after the Pull It All the Way Down album, it was time for me to part ways, because what had happened is, you got to keep in mind, every album prior to Pull It All the Way Down, went under the name Beatmaster Clay D and the Get Funky Crew. So Pull It All the Way Down was the very first album my name was actually written upon, because I stood on business and I stated to them, like, this album ain't coming out unless my name is on it. I'm tired of being known as just the Get Funky Crew. Magic Mike, the original Get Funky Crew member, is no longer here. So we're not going to just keep replaying this and putting new people in position. Now it's time for y'all to know who I am. I wanted the world to know who I was. So I went against Clay and went against the label, which kind of ruffled feathers. But I needed to see my name on the cover. We now fast forward to Clay and I's separation after the Pull It All the Way Down album. Loose My Money came about because, for one, Clay said that I could never make a hit without him. So to me, you just challenged me. You just told me basically that I couldn't make it without you. That you're the reason I was successful. So when I heard those words, I was even more determined to make a record that would become a classic. I knew I had the pen game down pat at this point. I had found my groove and my stride in this Southern bass thing, and I had kind of found my flow. So what I did, I had a homeboy by the name of Daryl D, who was a producer. And me and him was kicking it one night at the club, having a few shots. And I'm like, yo, D, man, I just left Clay, so I don't have a producer right now. But I need a single to present to this label. I'm still signed to Vision. And if you would, man, I'd be honored to have you produce the track. He was like, what track you talking about? I said, I need you to sample that Dance to the Drummer's Beat, bro. Because I saw something at the Infernos the other night, and I want to bring that boy in. And who I'm talking about is the one and only Crazy Legs. Crazy Legs was a DJ from the city. You feel what I'm saying? And Crazy Legs was fire with it. And everybody doesn't know this, but I'm going to put it out there. That beginning part that you hear him say in the beginning, this is what caused me to say to him, I need you on this record. He started his set off at every club he went to with Dance to the Drummer's Beat. He started it off saying, you always mess with those girls who go for your cash because you don't want to learn. When you mess with those girls who go for your cash, you always seem to get burned. Bam! And he bring that Dance to the Drummer's Beat in. And he start cutting that bitch up. He start jamming on it. Crowd went crazy everywhere I saw him do it. So I said, you know what? We finna rock this bitch. I called him up. He was real close with me. I had a couple of partners in common with him. They reached out to him for me, brought him through. I'm like, yo, listen, I got an opportunity for you, man. You know I'm signed to Vision Records. You know, home of Betty Wright. Rest in peace to my mentor, Betty Wright. I miss you, baby. You know, I was like, I got an opportunity for you, man. Let's do this record, Loose My Money. We sat over to Daryl's house one night. It took us one night, literally, to create that record. And that record came, although that record brought so much joy and made people dance, that record came from pain because I was going through some shit with my baby mama. Y'all niggas don't know. Like, I was going through it. So that Lose My Money was some real shit. Like, nah, you can't have that. You bugging the fuck out.
Well, you know, to Lose My Money, honey, because I know that in the music business, man, you know, I've been in this thing for about 25 years. So in the music business, there's a lot of egos. There's a lot of mishaps, and people don't do split sheet right. You know what I mean? They don't do the split sheet right. The spreadsheet don't be right, man. And then a lot of times, back when you first get into it, we don't know how important an entertainment attorney really is. You know,
that part.
When it comes to your publishing and your royalties, even when it comes to somebody want to license your music. And so I know that a lot of people, man, went through a lot, you know, just like, you know, I heard about the whole thing between, you know, Uncle Luke and H-Town and you know, how they was unhappy but a lot of times when somebody else is putting the whole bill, you don't really have much say so. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's facts.
Because that person may have the engine to push you. And and they may have them connections of how they've been networking for the last 20 years, and them connections might owe them a favor. And so if you try to step out on your own, you're not gonna have that pushing that market like you're supposed to have. But it's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of personal feelings when it comes to the music business. A lot of personal
Oh
feelings.
yeah. Oh yeah. It's a lot of personal feelings and a lot of, there was a lot of beefs back in the days in this music, man. There was a lot of rivalries, a lot of unknown rivalries. I was
Well, let
very
me
competitive
let's
as an
ask you.
artist.
Let me ask you a question, man. And
Go ahead.
I just hope I ain't prying. Like we can keep it always funky, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so from what I understand, in the bass scene, a lot of people had beef with Jam Pony Express.
Oh man.
And I've never got to the bottom of it to understood why. Because we as fans, that listen to their music, vibe their music, and party with the music, we like, man, I thought their bass fan was like connected. I thought they was just all them was trying to get money together. But
Yeah.
from what I researched and from what I understand now, oh man, boy, it was something serious.
I'm gonna put it to you like this, man. Shout out to my brother Slick Vic. I did a show with him. I brought him down in Polk County to Winter Haven. I brought him down there and we did this club culture. Had a great night. We thicker than thieves now. That's my bro. But what you gotta understand is back in the days when this bass thing was happening, and I gotta mention my man Locke, and I gotta mention Big Ace. Rest in peace, Big Ace. It wasn't that a lot of rappers had beef with him. It was a lot of DJs that had beef with Jam Pony because they were the premier DJs, and where most of the DJs stayed localized, Jam Pony tapes were everywhere. They were in
Man,
Florida,
listen.
they were in Georgia, they were in Texas, they was in Tennessee. Their tapes
Well,
were
check this out.
everywhere.
Let me tell you something about Jam. Let me tell you something about Jam Pony. Jam Pony had go-go bands to remix his music.
You goddamn
Like
right.
most of my family on my mom and my dad's side is in that DMV area. A lot of them.
Say that.
So I know about the Northeast Groove with Rare Essence and Junkyard and Backyard remixing his
Yes,
tapes,
sir.
man. So his tape was everywhere, man. And they Jam Pony can never be denied because they did some amazing things, man.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna keep it 1,000
Make,
with you, man. And this is tapping in on what you were talking about the beef. I'll keep it 1,000. We had some clashes. Myself, Devastator, and Clay D. No, Crazy Legs. I take that back. Not Clay D, Crazy Legs. And I'm gonna explain what it was about. When the Lose My Money record came out, that grunt, that that part right there, that's what Big Ace was known for on his mixtapes. However, at that time, they were only confined to mixtapes. They had never had a deal. So what I
okay.
did as an artist from New York that came and became a bass artist, I decided I'm going to pay homage to these brothers and I'm going to do that in the record. So that's what
Right.
we did. And it was the very first record that had it on it. So being the new thing, it was like everybody loved it. Everybody loved it. It's not that we were trying to take credit for it, but that's how they took it. So what wound up happening was a record came out dissing me, Devastator, and Crazy Legs called Buck 'Em Down. And when I heard the record, I was like, you know what? Lyrically, whoever they got on this record ain't fucking with me. I know I'm gonna crush this dude. I said, but really,
Right.
is it worth it? Because we are the South. And This is some new shit right here that is really growing and spreading wings. You got to keep in mind, let's think about the history of bass music when you talk about the MC80Es and you talk about the Jealous Jays and the Breezy Beat MCs, the Two Live Crews, the Afro-Ricans, the Anquiettes, Get Fresh Girls, Latrims. These were all infancy stages, but each stage became bigger. And then it came, like, I was the second phase of bass. I came after the 80Es, the Gucci Crews, and all of them. I was the second wave of bass. But behind me came another bass wave, which included 95 South, 69 Boys, Southern Players, my bros. Shout out to my bros, Southern Players, these Southern Players. Y'all know what it is.
I just had them on last Tuesday, for sure.
Yeah, they're my dogs, man. They're my bros. We Trump tight. Like, we locked in for real. Like, I'm officially, unofficially, like a Southern Player member, but I'm still Prince Rahiem. You dig what I'm saying? We travel, we do everything together. You dig? So, like, that's my family for real.
I'm gonna say this, Prince Rahiem. Now, when it comes to the Christian folks in the Carolinas and Georgia and it was a song that came out that all the kids used to love, right? You know, kids can be horrible sometimes, right? And so when that song when that song came out, your mamas don't crack rock.
You talk about my boy Disco Rick. God damn it. Rick Taylor.
I said
that's my
Rick,
dog.
Man. I said Disco Rick. I said, look here, man. And you heard that song everywhere. And when they played it in the club, people were just chanting. Like, I was like, he ain't just say that. They was like, yes, he did.
And he meant it too, bro.
Everywhere, man. So, man, let me ask you a question. How big was that record down there? Because I know it was big in Georgia, North Carolina, and South Carolina.
I'm going to keep it 1,000 with you. That was one of the most controversial records created outside of some of the Two Live Crew records because of the topic that he was talking about in that moment. When I tell you that record was huge.
It was a true statement, though, because if we know anything about that era when it comes to that drug epidemic, man, a lot of cats ain't see their mom for 5 and 6 days. You know what I mean?
You ain't lying, bro.
You know what
you
I mean?
ain't lying, bro.
So I can remember seeing stuff on the news where they're going to pick up kids and take them to Department of Social Services and stuff because the mother ain't been home in 10, 11 days. You know what I mean?
Kids ain't ate none of that.
Right.
Yeah, he spoke the truth on the record, man. When I tell you that was and it's funny you mentioned him out of all the artists you could have mentioned. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Rick, I gotta shout him out because Disco Rick made my show better.
Okay.
You know, there are certain artists that you come across and you go on tour with, and you see them on tour, and you realize, damn, I gotta level up now. I gotta level up. And Rick was one of those artists that made me say, you know what? Every time I get on the stage, and every time me and him are on the show together, we're gonna figure this out. We're gonna see who got it going on. That night, we gotta figure it out. So it got to the point where me and Rick kind of had a friendly rivalry. You dig what I'm saying? Because he had a fire show with my dog Peanut and Ant, the dogs. And I had a dance troupe by the name of Live in Color. Now, if anybody does the history on Live in Color, what y'all gonna find out is these are dudes who have danced for everybody until I locked them in and they became my backdrop. They rolled with me everywhere I went. I took them from everybody they danced with before, from Raptini to, you know, Devastator, to everybody that they danced for before. I brought them on the road with me, and we stayed a unit for the entirety of my career, from my independent deal all the way through to my big major deal with Island Records.
You
You
know
feel
what?
what I'm
And I
saying?
just can't
And they,
believe I can't believe we sitting here talking about Disco Rick and the Dogs. Wow.
oh yeah,
Man,
yeah,
man,
yeah.
I ain't heard nobody say that since I was a young pup. You know what I mean? I was
That
like,
hey, listen,
wow,
that's
man.
family right there, bro. That's family, man.
Well, and
That's
then
family.
what's so crazy? I told your management, I said, man, it's gonna be my mission to interview so many of these bass artists, man. You know what I mean? Because I feel like they ain't never got their due justice, and I feel like I need to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a part of Southern hip hop, and I'm from the South. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you something, man. I appreciate you for this. I appreciate you for this because a lot of people think the Southern hip hop started with the Lil Waynes and the Cash Moneys and you know
No.
everything that came after that. The T-Pains. We birthed all of it. Had there not been a bass movement, a lot of people don't understand. There were only 5 cities in the South that was making music
Uh-huh.
during the time bass music was birthed. And that was Houston, Texas, uh, um, Mississippi, Memphis, Tennessee, uh,
All right.
Miami, of course, Dade County all day. And you had Bun B and them, they from Houston. So you had
Right.
Houston, you
Houston.
had New
Yeah.
Orleans, you had Memphis, you had Miami and Dallas. Those were the 5 cities. There were no other Southern artists coming out. And the biggest records came out of Florida and Texas at that time.
Yeah, especially
Louisiana Spiral.
if if we understand the mixtape game back in the day when people used to have the barcode on the back and they had the scan
Yes, sir.
done and they were selling out their trunk for $10 and they were selling them a million copies in 9 months and that was
Yeah,
still reporting straight to Billboard. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's the part
yeah,
of the reason why they had to get this streaming service because the mixtape
yeah.
game was killing the radio.
Man, it was tearing radio the fuck apart, bro. Radio couldn't deal with
Yeah,
the mixtape game.
right.
And that's facts. Like nobody could deny that or dispute it. We had some of the greatest producers, some of the greatest. I'm gonna say this. I love where my career went because let's say I had been an artist that became successful coming out of New York.
Mm-hmm.
This beautiful, colorful array of music that I helped to be a part of creating would never have got to the level it got to. Because like I tell people all the time, it took each artist that was a part of this thing, from the Young and Restlesses, the Gucci Crews, the Disco Ricks and the Dogs, the Two Live Crews, the Afro-Ricans, the BVSMPs, all of us collectively put a brick in building what became global.
Right.
When bass started, it only reigned in the South. New Yorkers used to
Mm-hmm.
mock us. Me being from New York, that had me I kind of felt the way because I was trapped between a rock and a hard place. New York
Right,
is
right,
where
right,
I'm
right.
born and from, but this is the place that I now live and love and have birthed an artist named Prince Rahiem.
That's
So
right.
when I would hear New York artists mocking us, I remember going on tour with Ice Cube, Raw Bass, Digital Underground. There was a couple of us on the show. Yet again, they don't know who we are, but we know who they are.
Uh-huh.
You feel what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
you're in the South. You're not up north. You're not in the West Coast. You're not in the Midwest. You're in the South.
Right.
So they would come and they would have their little slick ass comments to say about us. And I remember, specifically Rob Bass being one of them. He was real cocky. It Takes Two was a big record. I'm not gonna hold you. That was
Right.
a monster of a record.
Right.
And I loved the record actually and loved him as an artist. However, I remember him mocking the music I love. And I remember saying, what happened, we was on a show together in Gainesville at the Civic Center. He was upset because the promoter, understanding that we're from the South, wanted to make us the headline of the show.
Right.
Rob Bass had a problem with that because he's from New York. He feel cocky. I'm like, bro, I'm from New York too, but I moved down here, and this Southern music is what's happening right now down here. Like, we love y'all. We love everything that come out of New York, but we popping down here, bro. Like, you need to breathe easy, and I think it would be in your best interest to go on before us. At this time, me and Clay was still a duo. And anybody that ever saw a Beatmaster Clay D Prince Rahiem show know that we were dynamic on stage. So they made this big stink about it. I never forget telling the promoter, man, fuck it, let them go on. We'll go on before them. Don't worry about it. And we go on before them. But I remember before I left that stage, I said to the crowd, if anybody that comes on behind me does not rock the stage the way we rock tonight, I want y'all to get them the fuck off this stage. And I stood on that. I meant that. What happens is Rob Bass comes on after us. And I knew he only had 2 records that we listened to in the South, which was It Takes Two and Joy and Pain.
And Joy and Pain. That's it.
We didn't know any other records from him.
That's it. Those are
so I said,
to date 2 of his biggest records to date. To date, that's 2 of his biggest
that
records.
Part. So I said to myself, and I said to Clay, I said, man, if they come out and do It Takes Two and they go right into Joy and Pain, they the fuck out of here, bro. And me and Clay sitting in the corner and we laughing because I know what's about to happen. We just came off doing a 30-minute fire set, high energy. We got the crowd sweating, like you said. You know how it was in the clubs. It was the same way in the Civic Center. If the crowd was there, we're making you sweat out your perms, t-shirts, silk shirts. You came clean, you left wet, bro. We high energy. So we sitting there and we waiting for him to come on. We knew he was the only artist coming on behind us. Nobody else was coming behind us. So when I made the statement, I knew this was a direct threat towards what he was about to do. He heard it. So he came out there cocky. And he came out there and he performed It Takes Two first. I said, Clay, if this man goes into Joy and Pain next, it's over. What did he do? He went into Joy and Pain next. Unfortunately for him, in the South, like I said, we didn't know any record beyond that. So when he went into the records that were album cuts, it started off real low. Ooh, ooh. That boo became a roar. And they ushered his ass the fuck off that stage. That night, we gained his respect. Excuse me.
Of course.
He came backstage.
Of course.
And he apologized. And he said, man, you know, I didn't really know what I was up against. I said, yeah, because you never heard of us. But I tried to tell you, you know, I tried to told you, you know, this is our house here, bro. We from here. So if you down here with us, bro, keep it at peace. Keep it peace, bro, because we going to do our thing. And they going to love us here. Same thing happened with my boys, Young and Restless, when they was on tour with Public Enemy and them. Public Enemy and them didn't know them, but they were super cool. Because at this time, now, kind of words had got out there. You know, there was this group that shut Rob Bass and them down there in Gainesville. We don't know these dudes, but we got to step a little different. They still kind of tried them because they tried to put them on early. Like they were some new niggas.
Yeah, right.
The problem was your energy doesn't compare to what we do on stage.
No, it could
Y'all
never.
were on a different level.
Y'all
were on a different level. Y'all energy wasn't the same.
The only person I've ever seen compare on stage with bass music and fall in the line like that is when I seen Disco Rick, Jam Pony Express, and Dougie Fresh in the Get Fresh crew. Man, Dougie.
Yeah.
Listen, man.
Let me tell you something,
man. I said Dougie just fall right in the line like he know these dudes for 20 years.
Let me tell you, bro, Dougie, I gotta really say this, man. I just did SRP Stadium in North Augusta, South Carolina last year.
I know, yeah, I know you did it. You did it with what's her name,
Force
man?
MD, Dougie
Yeah,
Fresh,
Fourth
Christy.
MDs. Christy,
Christy
yeah,
was the
I know the
promoter.
promoter. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Christy Dickerson. Yeah,
yep, yep. That's my people. Actually,
yeah,
Christy Cobra.
Cobra. That's right.
Yep, those my
Yeah, yeah,
peoples,
yeah, yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we were the first black artists to actually perform in SRP Stadium, the very first. It was
Yeah.
myself, 69 Boys, 95 South, this and that, Splat Pack, Force MDs, Vicious, Little Vicious came with Dougie Fresh. When
Screw
I
up the
tell you
ground.
we
Lord,
shut the stadium down, we shut that
that
bitch
man
down,
said,
bro.
they said, screw up the ground. Have mercy.
Oh, come on now. Come on now. Uncle Head, that's my little bro. That's my little bro, man. Shout out
Man.
to Uncle Head. Shout out to Q Dog. Rest in peace, Kid Money. Salute.
Man, this interview just took me back, man. When I was just a little pup, just a young pup getting out there on the party scene, man. And when we used
Come
to
on
travel
now,
30
dog. You
deep,
know. Yes, sir. Come
man,
on now. Talk about that now.
man.
You know how we used to come deep. We came
Yeah,
deep back in the day.
these young kids will never know what when somebody said, we gonna link up, go to this spot, okay. All is going there. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
man. But yeah, man, we about out of time though, man. But I'm gonna have to get you on here again, man, so we can we can vibe some more, man. But man, I definitely appreciate you coming on. It's been a
King, I
great
thank you.
pleasure to really conversate with you, man. And you know, OG, you welcome anytime, man. And man, we're gonna definitely keep in contact though, brother, for sure.
I appreciate you, man. God bless.
Yeah, man. But just on another note, man. We wanna thank everybody for tuning into the Chatterbox, man, and
Yes.
want to say thank you for supporting us, man, and thank you for supporting the guests that come on here, man, because it's a lot that going in the music business. It's a lot of hurdles and obstacles and challenges they have to overcome, but they still
Yeah.
bring you great music with a great show and show you love like they know you their whole life. So, man, shout out to the artists for being so genuine to the audience.
And before we exit,
All
man,
right?
I just want to say something. We got McCormick, South Carolina, Chitlin Strut in McCormick, South Carolina, November 30th. Tizo, the Wild One from Southern Players, and I will be here in Augusta, Georgia, performing at Smitty's Lounge November 2nd for the Lucy Craft Laney DJ Fresh birthday bash. So, like, we still here, man. And again, I thank people like you, bro. I appreciate your platform. I appreciate everything you do, King James. Jacob, I appreciate you, bro. Sincerely, man. From me, and I speak collectively for every bass artist, because I know these are the type of platforms that we need. We are forgotten about. They try to shun us like we didn't happen and we weren't the first wave of music to come out of the South. And you would not have your Bun B's, your Little Wings, your Sexy Reds, any artist that you love right now that came from the South would not be had there not been a movement called bass music.
You're right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, man, on that note, man, I know you speak for the whole bass music family. So, man, you just reach out to them, and any of them that want to interview on this platform, I'll be more than happy to do it.
I got you, my brother. I got you.
Yes, sir, man. Peace and blessings to you. One love. We out of here.
One love, King.